Yeah. Well, now that I have that basis of voter-pleasing frivolity, that would make more sense if I had the chocolate chip votes. In seconds, mere moments, I will stray dangerously close to convention and offer you some words about the future and a smattering of wholly unsolicited, lifelong, and philosophical guidance. Some of you may laugh, some of you may cry, some of you in the front may experience irritable bowel, relentless growth of hair and nails, or sudden onset of narcolepsy. If you need assistance for yourself or anyone else, any one of the fine and utterly overqualified people in the black robes will be the ones who want to direct the screens towards. And I'll make a final promise to you that this speech will be littered with strange and disorienting segues. The brain each and every one of you in this room possess is an amazing thing. The 30-some-odd pounds of gray gelatinous neuron sac is the seat of all of your knowledge, your emotions, your bodily controls, reason, the very things that we make our idea of our identity is in our brain. Yes. Of the 100 billion neurons which operate cohesively in a quadrillion synapses, which works out to about 500 million per cubic millimeter, many will wither and die. But the capacity of your brain never really decreases. Even as you grow old and gray, you still be able to adapt to new circumstances, form new connections and synapses. My first piece of unsolicited advice this evening is to never, ever stop using that capacity if you can. Yeah, never be afraid to expand your mind. Nay, seek out that expansion. Expand your mind as greatly as your life permits. Never stop asking questions, no matter how ridiculous. It's been said there are no answers, no truth, no real knowledge at all. But the act of asking questions is by far more important than getting any definitive answer. When you can ask questions for the sake of the question, you open yourself to all the answers the world and its many religions and schools of thought and philosophy have to offer. You free yourself to make your own answers, and those are the closest to the truth you'll ever find. Physiologically, your brain is little different from that of Einstein or the Pope or Tupac. What matters, the only limitation of your brain is what you choose to do with it. Tonight's second piece of unsolicited advice: notice things. Notice everything, if you can. Don't linger on anything too long if you're operating any heavy machinery. We walk under a perfect sky every day, and yet barely bother to look up. We live in a world so completely filled with life, yet we barely regard the people we walk by and see on TV every day as alive. No less the grass and trees and birds and diseases, which are alive. If you can change your perception, if you can see or hear or taste or feel something as if it's the first time, anything and everything can be beautiful. And the world is an extraordinary place, if only in its hugeness. Today the earth may be much smaller than it ever was. But it's just as diverse. And in modernity, any corner of it is accessible. And the population of the world is just as vast and diverse as the earth itself. About 6.7 billion people. Each and every one of them unique, with a unique and extraordinary brain, just as everyone in this room. You are condemned to be unique, as the life you live is inevitably unique. You're thrust into the world to a different time, from a different place, from a different uterus than anyone other ever. Notice all the people, many colors, genders, cultures, and creed. They're rarely what they seem, and you share a fantastic bond with them. That of life. As much as every single person is, always was, and always will be condemned to be unique, we're also bound, as to all humans and living things, that we are explorers, at least in the very beginning. We have to face the unknown. Integrally, we all are explorers. The unknown can be a scary thing. But living is dangerous. By living, you leave yourself vulnerable to dying. Don't be afraid of risk. To exist is to be at risk. Get used to it. Every instant, we're presented with these risks and explorative possibilities. For example, everyone in this room has the choice to get on their chair and dance naked. But knows the consequences of doing so. I'm not saying you should get naked and dance on your chair, just always be aware that you have the option. Whether we recognize it or not, we're making decisions constantly. The choices that ultimately define us. Which segues fabulously to my final piece of considered advice to you. Never neglect your capacity to make choices, and that you are in constant possession of that capacity. No matter what authority exists in your life, what people make you feel like you have to do, and what you feel obligated to, what you choose to do is spectacularly your choice. Your life is yours to live. You are the one, you are the only one. Yes, you are the only one who will have to live with it, and who it makes you. So live it as if it's the only one you'll ever have. Every instant is unique and perfect in its own image. Live in awe of the world as much as you can. The power of perception is endless. Your idea of the world is what you perceive it as. If you can change your perception, you can change the world. Or at least your world. Or you can not really. I'm really just as happy that you would choose one way or the other. That's kind of the point of that one. It's been a pleasure sharing what years I have shared with you. We've had some good times. We've had some bad times. There was a prom. Best night of our lives. And then there was that time when somebody pulled the fire alarm and it was like really cold outside. Man, good times. Anyway, Oscar Wilde said, "To live is the rarest thing. Most people exist. That is all." Well, I don't know what it is to live, and I don't know that Oscar Wilde knew what it was to live in any way that he could explain. So basically, go find out.
Will now present the 1988 Graduates Award and the Valedictorians Award to Patrick.
I remember going over that speech with Patrick, and it sounded exactly like that. I want to thank him for his interesting and insightful words in life. And hopefully he represents what you feel.